Oh shit, too close. Hey everybody, what's up? It's Tim. So, been posting up some stuff on Facebook and and some videos here that we've been going through some shit. We're looking for a new place and it's getting down to the wire, so it's been stressful. Um, so this one's been a little late coming. This one is a video response. It's actually gonna be two for the price of one, kids. We're gonna keep them short and sweet, hopefully. I know how much I like to run off with the mouth. But anyway, Robert Z, great person, fellow friend, music collector, has more records from Japan than Japan does. It's ridiculous. He's having a contest for shits and giggles, which is my favorite reason because one happens with the other. But he also did a video yesterday, so I'm just going to leave a link to his channel. Check out the contest. It ends in a couple days, but also reference the video. So first, the contest, and it was a hell of a one because I flip-flopped on this one several times. But if you, whoever, you, me, whatever, you could build a Mount Rushmore of singers, who would it be? There's my four, right? Oh, well, there it goes. Here's the other finger. That's what she said. So you can only have four. Well, there's more than four fantastic singers if you go throughout time. And it got me thinking, Sinatra. I mean, it's kind of hard to deny the chairman, right? Do you look at some of the amazing tenors like Pavarotti? I mean, it's a voice, right? Some of my honorable mentions, and I believe Bill over Devano first mentioned John Anderson from Yes. Man's got pipes. One that would always set me off, Ann Wilson from Heart. They call her the siren. There's a good reason. Even more modern soul people like Jill Scott. Man, Josh Stone, Janis Joplin. Only pick four? Really? I can't get 40, 45? Four. So when I heard the contest, a couple names came to mind really quick. I mean, just back and forth. Once I had three, it was that last spot. What do you do? So, in no particular order, as I have them, not even in an order, I'm just going to shuffle them up. Otis Redding. I mean, what can you say about this man? There's truly nothing else that needs to be said. I mean, the proof is in every song he gave us. Just amazing. I mean, and this kind of opened the floodgates for me. It's like, do you include Wilson Pickett? Do you Marvin Gaye? If I have to pick one, Stevie Wonder comes to mind. If I have to pick one, it's Otis. Phenomenal singer. Gone too soon, left us a treasure. It just dawned on me. All these singers have passed. Not intended. It just dawned on me. Queen of Soul. You cannot convince me otherwise that we have had a more prolific, talented female voice ever. I mean, and I sat in awe of so many different people live, but I never got a chance to see her. And just too good for words. She could take you to church. She could take you to that blues dive. She can do jazz. Always with soul. Always with grace. Aretha Franklin. I don't need to say anything about Freddie Mercury. And it's not because the movie and the recent rediscovery of Queen for a lot of people. I've been a Queen fan since as long as I can remember. Freddie Mercury had a perfect voice. Tone, pitch. He could control a room, whether it was 12,000 or 100,000, and everybody hung on his note. Just truly a remarkable gift. He was aware of his overbite, but even, thought about, do I get surgery for it? Do I have elective changes to my mouth to make me feel a little better, or make me even think a little better? He said, it could hurt your voice. He said, no, not interested. Because he knew what he had. Truly an amazing range, amazing tone. I mean, this man could probably sing at Wembley without a microphone. He had that much power. Truly, just to me, it gets no better. So that leaves one. And this is, once I got those three, I was good. And it was the last one. And there were several names that I mentioned, some of my honorable mentions. There were others. Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden. I'm a huge Maiden fan. Great tone. And I decided I think I wanted to go metal. And there were some others. There were a lot of others. And they started to fall. And when I got down to it, Dickinson to me was probably third. When I originally shot this video, I did a rare retake. I had Rob Halford was my number 4. That was a mistake. I don't make those often. I'm perfect here. Ronnie James Dio. And that was tough, because I think that if you didn't have Halford, you wouldn't have had Dio. I don't know, maybe. But Dio was just... what do you say? He gave us, all the different things he would do with the microphone to kind of say I love you, and whatever he did to the crowd. But his voice, how does something come out of such a small frame that is just powerful? Just what the hell? Ronnie James Dio. To this day, I get goosebumps. Mob Rules, Holy Diver, Last in Line, Dream Evil. And he never lost it. Never. Whoever went and saw Ronnie James Dio and said, his voice ain't what it used to be. It just didn't happen. So that's my 4. But there was something else. And Bobby shot a video. I'm recording this on Tuesday. He shot a video on Monday. And it got me thinking. Not just about, the contest and things like that. Because I was flip-flopping even when I was watching that video. So Robert had made a video about what happens when this is all over. And the collecting ceases. Some of us will probably collect right up until the end. Some of us will have a hard line. But, they say you can't take it with you. And Robert has really touching plans for his collection, and I admire him for that. And he has his reasons. So it got me thinking, what do I do? So I've decided, and I'm relatively young. I'm in my late 40s, but Bobby's young. Hell, Bobby Gass is young. We're all young. We're young here. Anyway, I don't know if I will ever see an end to the collecting. Because there's always something new to discover. But I think what I'm going to do is I curate my collection. When I go back to re-listen to something, we all have a process. And I usually don't bag something until I've cleaned it and listened to it and decided it's going to stay in the collection. There's a couple that I've bagged that I've listened to and I thought maybe, but I'm going to go back and re-listen to them. Because if there's nothing on it that speaks to me, then maybe I shouldn't have it in the collection. But I think what I am going to do is I'm going to put a note. Well, maybe a little 3x5 card or something like that. Of what songs meant the most to me on that particular album. It could be the whole album. It could be, hey, cuts 1, 5, 8, 9, were my favorites or whatever. So that way, when I go, my boys, I have 3. 2 of them are in their 20s, and I have a 5-year-old. I had planned on, and I always planned on leaving the collection to them to kind of divvy up as they see fit and decide what they wanted to do. But I'll probably leave instructions to it. If nothing else, check out the stuff that I've written down on the cards, and that's up to them. It really is. If they decide they want to keep some part with some, part with it all, that's truly theirs. But I want to give them at least a little insight to some of the things that made Dad who Dad was, because music's been around for my life as long as I can remember. So, and I know other people have talked about legacy boxes or what they're going to do. So it was an interesting question. And then Bobby, since you're watching this, what I ask, I know what you're planning on doing. And like I said, again, it's admirable. When you get to the point where you say no more, have you considered just spending a little energy kind of scratching the itch, if you will, in things that you would be able to resell, even if it's something that you already have, or if it's things that you may not be interested in, but the value is there and you're getting it at a great price? Would you consider adding those pieces, not to necessarily the collection, but to the inventory, if you will, for when you start your purge? The other thing I was curious about, because I'm sure Bobby knows just how much music means to you, and you have shared times where there's been certain things that have soothed him and things like that. Are you going to leave behind any type of legacy of music in relation to you? Maybe songs that mean something to you, songs that mean maybe something to the family. Is that in your wheelhouse? I ask because I am curious. For a lot of us, we collect, and it's because the music speaks to us on some level, whether it be musically, whether it be lyrically, whether it be the cover was hot, the girl on the cover was whatever drove us to purchase it. But there are those albums that we keep going back to, and that they have a lot of meaning. I am of the ilk that I want to kind of share that with my boys and let them know, hey, these are the things that touched and moved me. So that was a very interesting topic. So I'm going to leave a link to Bobby's channel below. Go check it out. He's got some interesting threads. He's got some family members like his cousin Carmine to come through. Everybody knows Robert. Everybody knows Robert. I mean, if you're watching me and you're not watching Robert, gotta ask, are you really enjoying all the videos you can? Robert, you have been a very true friend. I hope you and Betty and all the kids are doing very well. You're kind of like me right now, where you're watching all these people that we know who all over the country who are in snow, and we're kind of sitting back going, that doesn't really happen here. Sorry, don't understand what happened. How you can deal with that, but it just doesn't happen here. Tomorrow I think the high will be in the 40s, and that's warning for everybody here. To me, it's just a nice chilly walk. Robert, thank you. You make us laugh. You make us think. And damn it, you have a lot of cool shit. Take care, everybody. Peace.